Hey, what's going on? This is Sam White, and I just wanted to show off a real quick app that I'm working on. So this is basically a copy of YNAB, which is a budgeting app that I love. Um, you can create accounts, and accounts have a balance in them, and then you can create categories, and I'll show you how that works in just a sec. So positive values, in accounts, you can create transactions. Transactions have like a payee, a number. Positive is income, negative is money that went out of your account, and then like just some sort of a description, and then you can attach a category to it. So I might create a category called income, say that I got $4,000. Yay, I'm rich. And then when I make it, you'll see a few things update. First, under our account called ASDF, you see the balance update and the transaction is right here. Second, under all transactions, you see that we have our transaction right here as well. So there's a list of all the transactions. We can just go through all of our transactions if we need to. And then third up here, you see under our little categories page where our actual budget will be, you see that we have $4,000 available to be budgeted. Now, this is actually really, really cool. What we can do is we can now take this like total right here and we can budget it into categories. If I create like a second account, maybe I have like a savings account and this has an initial balance of like 2,000 or something like that. You'll see that this updates, right? This is a total basically over all of your account balances, but in a little bit of a different way. So let's say I need to pay rent every month, and that's $1,000 every month. I can create this category, and that's going to subtract from my to be budgeted. And I now have $1,000 set aside for this rent. Maybe I want to spend some money on food, and that's maybe $2,000 a month. We're already in unrealistic numbers for me. And there we go. Now we only have $3,000 left to be budgeted. And then let's say I want to like say, let's say I want the rest to go to Christmas gifts or something like that. And so I will put the rest of that in Christmas gifts. And now I have three categories, one for each of these. Now, where the real magic of this comes in is we can, in our accounts down here, we can now attach transactions. We can now attach a category to them. And instead of like the transaction adding or subtracting from this to be budgeted, it'll instead subtract from these categories. So these categories now act like mini accounts. So if I in my, let's pretend like this is a checking account. If I pay my rent for the month, for instance, and it's $1,000 and I let's say it's right on and I attach it to the rent category, you'll notice that like my, oh wait, sorry, I accidentally did that as income. RIP. So what happened there was I did that as a positive amount, and so it actually like added $1,000 to here because we had an inflow of $1,000 in our total spent, and now our balance is $2,000. So if I pay my rent, actually pay rent and I say spend $2,000 in the rent category, then this is going to zero out. And you see we have all of the transactions we've had right here with the amounts. And the to be budgeted didn't update. So that's really cool. So like now I can go through and I can keep my balance separated from my budget and just look at these budget numbers. And then when I get a new transaction in my bank account, I just update it here. So like if I like went out to dinner, like McDonald's or something, and I spent like $40, that's unrealistic, but I spent it in the food category. Now I can see exactly. Fuck, I forgot to do the negative. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's spend negative $100 on food. Now I can see that I have exactly this amount of money left in my food category, and I don't have to go through and like do that math, right? So we budget with the money we have. If I get, for instance, some income, and I get $2,000, and I don't have a category on this, suddenly I have more money to budget and I can like set this aside for like savings or something like that. And now life is just a little bit easier. So anyway, this is my little YNAB clone. This is built in Svelte. It's actually really, really easy to write this. Like actually really, really easy. This uses Redux under the hood. We're using Redux Toolkit. And then I wrote like a small, let me see if I can get my window over here. I wrote a small binding in this file right here, that basically all it does is it lets you use the same selector API you might be used to if you are in if you're coming from React, except it'll like wrap it up in what Svelte calls a store, and then that allows the components to auto update. So for example, in my account component where well, that's not a good one. In the category component, right? We have a prop where we pass in a category, and then we want to subscribe to that category's transactions. So all we do is we like do this like select function right here, and we map over our the categories transactions, the IDs, right? Because we're denormalizing in Redux. And then we just subscribe to that right here using the little $ syntax. And then by prefixing the store property with a $, this will automatically update whenever our category changes right here, which is really, really, really great. This could likely be a little more this could be simplified a little bit more and be a little bit more performant if I updated this to pass in just a category ID and then subscribe to the category in here. That would likely be much more performant because right now this like category.transactions.map thing is running every single time this component re-renders it all. So yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. I thought it was really fun to make. Now I need to work on studying. But I was too hard on Svelte at the start of this year, and I think it's actually pretty cool. I think especially for applications like this that are like heavily local, heavily reactive, it is a really, really, really good fit. So yeah, uh, definitely check it out. I will probably be working on this a little bit more because I don't want to have to pay for YNAB, even though I love them. Um, so yeah, I might be working on something budgeting related because I'm going to have to start worrying about that now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that's what I built.